You never thought you'd see the day, and I didn't either. Yeah. So I'm going to be trying to listen to this album again. Back in like November of last year, I tried to react to this album and I just didn't vibe with it. So I held off, and then in January, I reacted to the song Strangers. And honestly, I've fallen in love with that song. I have grown to really, really love that song. I've listened to it on repeat multiple nights. And so I decided I would give this album another try. It is called Preacher's Daughter. It is by Ethel Cain. And if you don't know, Ethel Cain is actually the stage name of someone by a very different name that I cannot pronounce. But I understand that Ethel Cain is actually a character. Ethel Cain is the character in this album. This is sort of like a concept album, very much a story album. I did look into all of the lore behind this album, and it's insane. It's a story album, and it is a fictional story about a girl who is murdered and cannibalized by someone. So that's kind of what we're going into today. You know I love concept albums. You know I love an album that has some sort of artistic meaning behind it. Not that like being cannibalized is like super artistic and great, but I definitely think there's some artistic things going down behind the scenes. And so I'm excited to get more into it because I didn't really look up like any of the lyrics or anything. And when I tried to react to it back in whenever it was, I only listened to like the first couple songs. I really don't remember much other than there was some preacher sound effects. Like there was a preacher that was talking in the song. It's a very slow, kind of lagging sound. Like there's not a lot of crazy stuff going down, and there's nothing wrong with that. But that's not really the type of sound that I usually gravitate toward. However, considering how much the song Strangers has grown on me, and I mean, every time I listen to it, it just hits on a different level. So I am excited to see what else is in store. There's a couple different songs on this album that I cannot pronounce the names of. Actually, I think there's just one, but yeah, I don't really Televangelism, Bleached Flies, but I am excited. Okay. I'm really praying that I will like this album more the second time around because I want to like it. So many of you guys tell me to listen to it, and it's a very popular album amongst the people who know about it. I feel like it's one of those niche albums that has a raging fan base. So I am wanting to become one of the fans. Whenever there's a popular album, I want to like it. I want to get in on it. I want to know what all the hype is about. So yeah. I also know Ethel Cain is tight with like Florence and the Machine. I am going to start out with the first song, obviously. It is called Family Tree, intro. I do remember this one, sort of. I remember that there's a preacher at the beginning and he's saying something, I don't remember what. But without further ado, let's get into it. I remember being completely confused by the lyrics on this album, and if you think like you're gonna get a lyrical breakdown and analysis, you might get one, but it probably won't be correct. We're gonna get a story, we're gonna get like it's gonna be a whole thing. It's very haunting already. No idea what he's saying.
These crosses all over my body remind me of who I used to be.
I'm seated.
Forgive these bones I'm hiding.
What? I forgot about this.
Jesus can always reject his father.
It's really pretty. Like, it's just hitting because I'm more in the mood for this.
Cannot escape his mother's blood.
I don't know what it means, but it's pretty. I honestly forgot most of this song past the intro. It's a sermon about a mother. I don't really know why. It's really interesting that that is how this album starts off. A woman, a mother. A mother is a very special thing. And other than the Lord Jesus Christ, I think that mother is one of the most precious gifts that God gives to the world because the mother is the one who loves the Lord. That's obviously very intentional that she would start the album with that and like those themes seems. That's not accidental. On an album like this that has been this thought out, definitely not accidental. And so I'm just wondering why why a mother is a very special thing is kind of like the first theme on this album. These crosses all over my body remind me of who I used to be. In Christ, forgive these bones I'm hiding from no one successfully. Jesus can always reject his father, but he cannot escape his mother's blood. I don't really know what that means. And I'm a Christian. I am a religious person. I definitely don't think that the church always gets things right, okay, y'all? I have my fair share of problems with church and certain things that the church does, especially because I think every church is different. But I don't know what it means. My point is, like, I'm religious, but I really don't know what this means. There's a lot of meaning here. And especially on a first time listen, I am not gonna grasp everything that's occurring, especially when I'm trying to focus on like the sound and the lyrics at the same time. Like that's the hardest thing for me. I'm trying because I would like to understand what's going on. Call me crazy, but okay, we love a build. Swinging by my neck from the family tree. I definitely forgot that this song builds, and it builds in a beautiful way, and the drums come in and all the different changes. I definitely feel like the first time I listened to this song, I just thought it was really boring and really slow, and not boring objectively, like if you like this kind of music, but just for me, I was like, you know what, I can't get into this. Perhaps I needed to give it another listen because it is really cool. Like I'm genuinely liking this so much more than the first time I listened to it, and it is really cool with the production coming in like that and her voice. It's very slow and like haunting, and yeah, it's just, but then I don't know what the lyrics mean, so fill me in, like, you know how I do. You can let me know what it's about, but I can't promise that I'm gonna figure this out on my own. I don't, oh, okay, like there's little things happening in the background that are just like, I want it to go into the next song. I would love a flow moment. Would you give that to me, Ethel? She didn't give me flow, but that's okay. I literally hated this song the first time I heard it, and I know everyone's obsessed with it, so I'm really hoping I'll like it more, but I can't promise anything because I have listened to it twice now and I don't like it. I feel like I'm floating. What is this? I really do like this so much more than the first time I listened to it. I actually have listened to this song 2 to 3 times, and I have disliked it every single time I've heard it, and I actually am liking it a lot more in this moment. This album has that potential to be one of those albums that like you have to listen to a few times, at least if you're me. You have to listen to it a few times to like fully wrap your brain around it, especially because I still have no idea what she's talking about. I mean, I like the storytelling. The neighbor's brother came home in a box, but he wanted to go, so maybe it was his fault. Another red heart taken by the American dream. I did look that up. I think it means he went away to war. Coming home in a box is like something related to war. Okay, don't quote me. I feel it there in the middle of the night when the lights go out. Like, what do you feel? I don't know, but I kind of like it. I kind of like the imagery. I'm picturing like a darkly lit street with like a single lamp and a bike that's rusty and beaten down, and it's like, you know, the wheels still kind of spinning, like it's this creepy atmosphere, but it's also kind of comforting at the same time. Like, why is this album already creepy and comforting in the same wavelength? And when I say it's creepy, I don't mean that there's anything wrong with that. It's just a tone. But I'm getting ahead of myself because I have literally listened to like 1.5 songs. But this the second verse is better than the first verse.
Why do I feel alone in this room with you?
You think it's gonna pop off, but she goes low. She brings it down. I'm reading the lyrics, that's why I'm saying. When I first listened to this song, it literally felt like nothing was happening with the production, and I couldn't have been more wrong. Like, the drums are everything before it goes into the chorus. The pre-chorus, you think it's about to go up into this giant thing, but instead it goes down. It diverts your expectations, but then you do get that really satisfying explosion with the chorus, and like, I do love an explosive chorus, okay? And it's so satisfying, like, when you finally get that explosion that you thought you were going to get in the pre-chorus. And so it's like a delayed moment, which is often more satisfying because you're really wanting it. It's like when you're watching a movie and you're waiting for the characters to kiss and they don't kiss for most of the movie, and then the last 5 minutes they finally kiss. I really like this, like, so much more, so much more than the first couple times I listened to it. I don't know if I'm just more in the mindset now. I do feel like I am in the mindset to receive this sound. I also feel like it's possible. It just took a few listens. I don't know, but it's hitting so much harder, and I'm so glad. So I'm excited. And the lyrics also are interesting. I mean, going along obviously with the religious imagery, like, Jesus, if you're there, why do I feel alone in this room with you? I feel it in the middle of the night. I don't know if that's like loneliness. I really don't know. Like, I don't know what this song is about. It's one of those songs that no matter how many times I read the lyrics, I'm still just not sure what's going on. But I honestly don't really mind that. Sometimes I can just enjoy a song without like knowing what it's about. You know what I mean? So I'm enjoying. It feels poetic. It feels deep. Like, the songwriting is insane. It just is. And that was one thing I respected about her from the first time I tried to listen, was the songwriting. I was like, the lyrics are interesting. They're engaging. They're beautifully written, beautiful songwriting. And so I always appreciated that. But I'm glad I'm connecting to the sound more, because that is like my thing. I always want to also be connecting to the sound. And so... I love that. That's like everything. Oh, I feel like I'm gonna fly away literally into the clouds. And then she gives a little sparkly moment, sort of. Yeah, I mean, the more it went on, the more confused I was at like exactly the meaning and the story behind the song. But already we're getting themes of family, we're getting themes of religion, we're getting themes of being a teenager, we're getting themes of alcohol and being drunk. So those are the themes we're getting so far. The next one is a house in Nebraska. This was one people were also mentioning. Why? Like, why is it like an organ that's foreboding, and is it not sort of comforting, like church, but also creepy abandoned church at the same time?
Labored breaths and bed sores, sing it to me all day long.
The silence is like...
When the aching sound of silence used to be your favorite song.
She said the aching sound of silence used to be our favorite song. Meanwhile, there's silence present in the song. Like, it's not actual silence because there is that piano that kind of, or organ that kind of continues. You can hear the chord going, but you know, it's like silence. Like, she's not saying anything for multiple seconds, and it's just you're waiting for what she's gonna say next. And then she sang the sound of silence. I'm like, she's a genius. Like, she just is.
You and me against the world. You were my man and I your girl. You were my whole world. And you were up and gone.
Okay. It was a love song, but now it's sad.
And I still call home that house in Nebraska, on a dirty mattress on the second floor, while the world was empty, save you and I, where you told me even if we died tonight that I'd die yours.
Rain?
These dirt roads are empty, the ones we paved ourselves.
I'm enjoying listening to this song in this moment. It's one of those songs that on paper, it's not my song because it's super slow, it's super foreboding, it doesn't build a lot in the sound of it. It kind of just, so far, I mean, we're literally like, this is a 7-minute song, and we are 2 minutes in, so it could always continue building, but I am enjoying listening to it. Like, it's not, I'm not disliking it like I did the first time I tried to listen to this album. But interesting, it's about a love that she has lost. I still call home that house in Nebraska where we found each other on a dirty mattress on the second floor. It's another line that it's not a pretty line. You don't think, oh, dirty mattress, like that's so romantic. You think, ew. You think bed bugs, you think dirt. It's interesting. Like, her songwriting is really interesting because it has all these images within it that are kind of creepy. They're not pretty, they're not nice. There's so many songs and albums that the lyrics are super pretty and they're super like idealistic. And this is kind of like the opposite. I mean, she already talked about like being wasted at church. You know, it's not this romanticized music and sound, and it is kind of like foreboding and creepy, but also there's something about it that's calming because her voice is like really, you know, I hear it. I heard the production. Don't think I didn't. I take back everything I said about it not building. It is building, like she is building it. It's just subtle. Okay, I am remembering, I think in the lore, she gets swept off her feet by this man who then turns out to murder and cannibalize her, as one does. So I feel like this is the love song in this story. Very dramatic kind of love. Like, you told me if we die tonight that I'd die yours. Just very dramatic amounts of love happening right now. And it's possible like he's gonna become obsessed with her and then he's gonna, you know, do the thing. I'm just gonna be staring at the lyrics the whole time, I'm sorry, because I don't know what's happening. Religion, again. And alcohol again. Okay, so he left her. I forgot about that. I don't know. I don't know if it's the same guy, but... Okay, loneliness is also a theme. I'm seeing. I know the themes, I just don't know what they mean.
I feel so alone out here.
and it's like stripping it back, so you really do feel like she's alone. It was all built up when they were together, and now it's like stripped back. It's just her. She's alone at the house in Nebraska on the dirty mattress with the bed bugs. What's interesting is the lyrics end like way before the song does, and then it just has like an instrumental outro. Yes! I was just about to say I don't like instrumental outros, and then she did that. Respect, respect. This is crazy. I kind of like that one. I don't know. I like the build of it a lot, even though it's like not my song on paper. This is so... Okay, she's putting me into a trance. That's not happening today, Ethel. This one's 6 minutes and the next one's 7 minutes, and then it's... Oh my god, there's one that's 9 minutes. Okay. The imagery, it's just constant. Okay, so he's a criminal.
I watched him show his love through shades of black and blue. Sudden fights at the bar.
Abusive relationship? Or he just likes to fight?
Show me how much I mean to you. While I'm lying in these sheets undressed.
I'm trying to understand.
Trouble's always gonna find you, baby. But so
Okay, at first I thought she was talking about an abusive relationship when she said, I watched him show his love through shades of black and blue, but I actually think she continued to say starting fights at the bar across the street. So I actually think he's fighting to defend her, potentially. So it's more of a love type of thing rather than like he's not beating her, he's beating other people potentially to defend her. I'd hold the gun if you asked me to. You know what? I'm not gonna pretend like I know what's going on. Like, I'm just not. I don't know what that means. Like, hold the gun to who? Hold the gun to your head? Hold the gun to someone else's head? I don't know. Trouble's always gonna find you, baby, but so will I. She doesn't care that he's a troublemaker. She still wants him.
I'm never gonna leave you, baby. Even if you lose what's left of your mind.
Okay. It's like Harley Quinn and the Joker. Well, they're both crazy, but...
I haven't spoken to my daddy in a long time.
Yeah, like more themes of her father and family, and I guess she is the preacher's daughter. I am like not connecting to the sound of this one. Maybe I need another listen, but it's sounding a lot like the last song to me, like it just is. I like the chorus. I feel like it's gonna grow.
Clinging on to you like some love-blind addict, always screaming.
Kind of like Stockholm Syndrome vibes. Okay, that one was definitely the first that I didn't really connect to the sound of it at all. It's one of those songs that I do feel like could grow on me. Because again, with Strangers, the first time I heard it, I was like, this is objectively pretty, but I didn't really connect to it. So it is possible that she'll grow because I really like the chorus. It just had this really pretty melody to it. I did understand the lyrics for once. It sounded like he's a troublemaker, but she's still really obsessed with him, like really in love with him. And despite all his faults and that it might be a problematic relationship in ways, she still wants him. So that is pretty straightforward to me, at least. Yeah, but it was really slow, really drawn out. That's just her sound. And I feel like you either like it or you don't. For me, I really liked the first few songs. That one was the first that I was like, I don't know. It just kind of ran together with the other tracks. I might need another listen. It also just might not be my favorite song. The next one is called Family Tree, not to be confused with Family Tree Intro.
These crosses all over my body
Oh, I like the melody so much.
remind me of who I used to be.
I love this. Straight up, like, I love this.
To him an offering.
An offering. Like, it's creepy.
Let him make a woman out of me.
There are flies buzzing in the background, like sun-bleached flies.
I'm just a child, but I'm not above violence.
I love this. I don't know why I love this. She's not above violence. Okay. The flies are getting me.
To take me down to the river and bathe me.
Let's take a look at these lyrics. Let him make a woman out of me. I'm just a child, but I'm not above violence. My mama raised me better than that. When the preacher talks, so her father, I'm guessing, that man demands his silence. Like, I don't know what that means. And daddy said, shoot first, then run and don't look back. So take me down to the river and bathe me clean. Like, am I supposed to be understanding exactly what is happening? Because I don't know how you're going to do that. This one, though, I don't know why. I love this. I know it's a lot like the other songs. Like, it is very slow. It's very drawn out. That's her sound. But I like it. I don't know. I really love that melody when she's like, put the crosses on my body or whatever. Like, that is just...
Put me on the back of your white horse to ride all the way to the chapel that you wash all over me.
all the way to the chapel. Kind of has this Western sound to it, just a little bit. Like Western rock? Is that a thing? I don't know. Her voice. I've killed before and I'll kill again. So that's a theme on this album, is killing. Guns, violence. Take the noose off, wrap it tighter on my hand. Okay, but she started doing like the super deep vocals, and that's not lost on me. Like, that's intentional. Everything in this album is intentional. Like, it just is. It's one of those albums where you know everything has been meticulously placed and planned, and nothing is just pointlessly added to the album. Like, everything has a meaning, is what I would guess. So when she goes into the super deep voice and then says the line, I've killed before and I'll kill again, like, that's intentional. It just is. I'm acting like I wrote this album, but it just is. I just like how it's, I don't know.
So take me down to the river.
I could fall asleep to this. Like, it's creepy and comforting. It's both. And I just realized the album cover kind of creeps me out because she's just staring at me, so. Is that Jesus? I didn't even notice he was on there. Show off the electric guitar on this album, Ethel. It's country and rock at the same time. It's some sort of weird hybrid. Ironically, I'm not as into the parts of this song that are like that electric guitar solo and the more instrumental sections. I'm really into like just the stripped back, like when it's just her voice. I don't know why. That's like easily my favorite part of like the entire album so far. So I don't know why, because it doesn't make sense. Like, and this is why my music taste, you know, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to other people. I've been told I have weird music taste. I can't explain it.
Christ, forgive these bones I've been hiding. I'm about to leave. Yeah, take me.
I'm living for this explosion. And the vocals are so good. I would love to hear that song live. We're getting the drums again. Oh, I love that. She sometimes does the best freaking things at the end of the song. I loved that. I really did. Mainly like the beginning and the end. The middle of it, like with the electric crickets. But yeah, that was one of my favorites so far. What is happening? This is nice. It's like, I'm picturing like being on a porch with like a glass of sweet tea.
9 going on 18. Lay it on me.
9 going on 18.
'Cause I hate this story where happiness ends and dies with you. Good guys get to be happy. I'm not happy. The little girl who needs her daddy real bad.
Needs her daddy. I'm so confused.
On my birthday, was too young to notice that some types of love could be bad.
Some types of love could be bad. Maybe it is about an abusive relationship. I just want to curl up into a ball and like sway. And it's really just like lullaby vibes kind of, but like the lyrics.
Still tied to
I'm just in like a vibey trance right now. Like I have nothing to say. It's just like a vibe. This is the vibiest. Too tired to leave. She's can't leave the abusive relationship? Okay, I'm now thinking this is definitely like an abusive relationship or like Stockholm Syndrome vibes, like bleeding whenever you want. Too tired to move, too tired to leave. She wants to leave, but she also doesn't want to leave because she has this love for him that she can't really explain, but she's too tired. Whether that's like an emotional tiredness or like, I don't know, did he drug her? Like, I don't know what's going on, okay? But obviously like an abusive relationship, you want to get out, but it's a really hard thing to get out of. So potentially she's trying to escape this relationship, but she can't. This one's really pretty and just like, it's like nice, but it has that beat behind it too to keep it moving, keep it grooving. Really groovy, low-key. Like it was just really vibey. The next one's Thoroughfare. Isn't that something with horses or twang? Is she from the South? I think I saw that she is, and like I feel that. I mean, Southern Baptist Church, but also just this one's kind of yeehaw.
You fell in love with America when you were 12 years old.
I'm sorry, she sounded exactly like Florence Welch right there. I had to do a double take that it wasn't a feature. I'm sorry. I said what I said.
You had to get out and go chasing that sweet call.
The vocals? Like, what is her voice doing up in here? Yay! Ha. I'm not liking this. I'm sorry.
You there in Texas somewhere on the thoroughfare with a pistol in my pocket.
Like, the production matches the meaning of the song and like the lyrics, which is cool, but I don't like it.
Anywhere.
This is the one I'm connecting to the least so far. I think it's cool that the production of the song does align to kind of the imagery that is being portrayed. Texas, guns, on the side of the road in some torn up clothes with a pistol in my pocket. And the sound of the song definitely gives me like South Texas vibes. Yeah, and her vocals on this are like, have a little bit of a twang to it. So I think that's cool objectively, but I am just like not connecting to this one. It's really dragging for me. Yeah, I don't know if it'll grow with more listens because some of the other songs, you know, they did grow, so we will see. But I'm also really hoping she's gonna build it because it's a 9-minute song. Like, you better build it or I'm gonna be bored.
He said it's been a long damn time since I left for.
Yeah, bring it in.
No one left to lead.
She said, because the first time since I was a child, I could see a man who wasn't angry. So it sounds like her father was angry, potentially abusive. I could be wrong, but yeah, it sounds like she's got some daddy issues, which is a bummer. Okay, I'm doing my best over here. I'm fighting for my life to understand these lyrics, so just give me a break.
With your western sunshine met my deep southern wet.
Like western sunshine, southern wet, the southern imagery.
Do you wanna see the west with me?
Build it, just explode it. Get the sweet tea and get out on the porch because we are in the South, y'all.
And you said, hey, do you wanna see the west with me?
This is what I needed personally.
And I said, honey, love's never meant that much to me.
Again, like the lyrics ended. The rest is gonna just be an instrumental. Yeah, I don't know. I really loved that whole build moment though. Like I was hoping that would continue, but she's bringing it back down. There is some sound effects. Yeah, as an entire song, I didn't connect with it. However, I loved that whole build moment. Like that was the thing I needed. Could be a grower, but I also just have a feeling that it's not really my song. But the next one is Gibson Girl. I don't know what that means, so. This is a little bit different.
What?
Wanna get alone with me? You wanna get my clothes off and hurt me?
Hurt you?
Black leather and dark glasses. Pour in another while I shake my asses. Cold-blooded, so it takes my time to bleed.
He's
Obsession with the money, addicted to the drugs. Says he's in love with my body, that's why he's fucking that up.
Why do I kind of love this? I kind of love the sound of this. I kind of am also like, what is going on? He's cold-blooded, so it takes more time to bleed. I love that lyric. Like, that is such a good lyric. Obsession with the money, addicted to the drugs. Says he's in love with my body, that's why he's fucking it up. Great. So this is definitely about an abusive relationship. Like, that's definitely a theme. I don't know if it sounds like it's her love interest that's abusive. But it being called Preacher's Daughter, I'm like, am I missing something? And is her father actually the abusive one? Like, I don't know what's going on. Does anyone know what's going on? I'm sorry. I wish I knew what was going on.
Baby, if it feels good, then it can't be bad.
This is so different. The effects on the vocals.
Downright iconic.
Downright iconic. What is happening?
You wanna fuck me right now and hurt me.
What?
And if you hate me, please don't tell me. Just let the lights be.
production is kind of iconic. Literally no idea what is happening with these lyrics. I keep reading through them and just being like, nope, I still don't know. Because there's lines that almost feel like they contradict each other. Or just, yeah, it's just really hard to see what is happening here. My brain is slowly melting into a pile of mush. You're all the same, black leather and dark glasses. It sounds like an abusive relationship because she says you want to hurt me, but he's using the excuse if it feels good, then it can't be bad, but clearly it only feels good to him. I honestly have no idea what's happening. Like, I don't know. Okay. I like it, sort of, but I'm also like, what? Also, what's Gibson? Like, is that a thing? That part is literally iconic. I kind of am ready for this to be over. I just need a minute. I'm like literally in a trance. Literally all up inside my brain right now. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I am literally terrified. Okay. We're getting into the song next that I do not know how to pronounce the title of it. I don't know what it means. I don't know if she's gonna tell me. Ptolemaea. I would guess it's pronounced Ptolemaea, but it could also be like Ptolemaea. The hell? I can't keep up with this anymore. I was really thinking all the songs were sounding so similar, and now she's really just giving me a run for my money. Is that the saying? Like, what? I don't like that. It's creepy. No. I do not like this. Huh? Okay, is he getting to the part where he eats her? I feel like a werewolf is inside my ear right now. No. Like, just... no. Ethel, where are you? Thank God she's here. Why are you the white light? I'm guessing the intro, that lovely intro, was the guy, I forget his name, the like murderer cannibal guy. I think that was probably supposed to be his voice. I think his name is like Isaac or Isaiah or something. But yeah, that intro was just straight up creepy. Like really got like my fight or flight. I really wanted to walk out. I didn't. So hiding from something I cannot stop. Walking on shadows. I cannot lead him back. I don't know what is going on. I literally have no idea. That's where we're at. That's kind of what I expected. I just knew that I would really have no idea what's going on. So you can fill me in if you want, no pressure, but yeah. Daddy's left and Mama won't come home. She's been abandoned. I don't know. Not him again. I don't. I will never listen to this song again because of him. Isaiah! Okay, his name is Isaiah. I'm really proud of myself for remembering that. Under the influence of Isaiah's drugs, Ethel begins to hallucinate. She confronts the darkness. What? I mean, the song is inspired by Alighieri's divine comedy Ptolemaea, named after Ptolemy's Circle of Hell. Oh, great. That's just what I wanted to hear. Maybe this is a reference to Ethel abandoning her family and faith. I don't love that. Like, stop. The Daughters of Cain? What does that mean? Okay, the Daughters of Cain is a cult whose teachings inevitably led to Ethel's death. Oh, I'm over this. I don't like this. Absolutely not. I will never be listening to that song again. Yeah, we have arrived at the first song that I hated, like straight up hated it, because it really made me feel extremely uncomfortable and extremely creeped out. And I know some people, the comments are writing themselves right now. Beth, that's the best song on the album. Oh my gosh, Ptolemaea is my favorite song of all time. Great. I have no problem with you enjoying it, but hell no. It was giving me like creepy horror movie. And listen, I had a horror phase. I still like thriller novels. Like, I'm not opposed to a little bit of creep here and there, but that was like, I don't know. Like, I didn't like that demonic voice, and then I also didn't like how she was like begging him to stop. Like, the whole thing just made me uncomfortable. It's not one of those songs that's like pleasant to listen to. I straight up am like, what? Like, why did you have to put that in there? I was getting a comforting vibe when we first started listening to the album. Like, the sound of it was really nice, but now she's doing some things and I don't know that I'm a fan of them. But the next one is August Underground. I like that title. It's really nice, but I'm scared now. So I pray that that was the only really weird song. I'm really excited for Strangers. Like, I'm really excited to listen to that song because I love it so much and I know it. Was that a growl? Shouldn't surprise me at this point. Haunting, very dark, very, very dark. Something's gonna freak me out. Like, something's gonna cause me to jump scare. I just know it. Yeah, I don't know. I'm like really hit or miss with instrumentals and I'm not really connecting to this. I do appreciate she's giving me a minute to like take in everything I've just listened to, but it's not really like... Okay, I kind of like that. I'm like ready to move on from this one. Like, it's cool. It's nice that it builds. She did build the production. It did go up to this big moment, but I just feel like I'm ready to move on to Televangelism. Sure, that'll be a fun one. Whoa. It was like going under a tunnel. You're like going into a tunnel or something. August Underground. It flowed. It flowed. It flowed. Piano. Just nice. Please. Just a normal one. Just a nice one. Let's take it back to American Teenager, shall we? That would be great. You know, these songs like probably mean something, because I feel like this is a very intentional album. But I don't know what this like... Because this one's called Televangelism, but she's not saying anything. It's just an instrumental. Are the chords and the piano supposed to say something? Like, you know what I mean? Why is this one called Televangelism? Is that rain? Or is it static? Oh, it's static, like a TV, like televangelism. Television. She purposely like missed the chord, right? It feels like this album has been very intentional, so I would be surprised if there wasn't like a deeper meaning behind that. But the next one is Bleached Flies. This was another one people were talking about, and we got the flies earlier. We already heard them come in. Is that the TV sound that's continuing into this song?
Bleached flies sitting in the window, so waiting for the day they escape. Their babies are always changing while they're breathing in the poison of the pain. What I wouldn't give to be in church this Sunday. God loves you, but not enough to save you. So good luck taking care of yourself. If they strike once and you just hit them twice as hard.
this about fighting back against Isaiah? Like, I don't know. Oh, she always loves to bring in the little beat.
Watching it go by from the sidelines.
What? Like, I don't know anymore.
God, I tried. I think it's about time I put up a fight.
It seems like it's about fighting back against her captor. This one's pretty, like, I'm just kind of vibing. I don't have anything to say. Some of the lines on this album make it sound like she is leaving her faith in the dust or something, or not believing that God is good or God, like, wants to save her. I don't know. If that's the case, I don't know that it's like one that I'm going to connect to thematically, because for me personally, finding God's love for me has been very impactful to me and has not been a negative experience, although I understand it's different for everyone, and there's very much like trauma that happens sometimes in church environments, sometimes with different religious organizations. Like, there can definitely be things that go down that are not good. So I definitely think that that's incredibly valid. I do remember reading that Ethel is transgender, and I believe maybe she wasn't like accepted within her church community. I think she grew up in like a really strict Baptist community, and they potentially like exiled her. Maybe her family did as well, especially if her dad's like a preacher, maybe in the same church. So that could possibly be another reason that she's saying some of the things that she's saying. I'm literally so gone right now.
Praying for that house in Nebraska.
I like when it goes back down.
When something's broken, it's all I know, and it's all I want now.
When something's broken, it's all I want. Maybe going back to the relationship. Objectively gorgeous. It's one of those songs where I'm like, I need another few listens. I don't know if it's gonna be like my song or not, but I thought it was objectively really pretty, and there were moments of it that I adored. There were other moments where I was like, you know me, that whole sound of like it being really flowy and kind of just going into the next thing and going into the next thing, and it was super long. I don't know. I'm just like very hit or miss with that whole sound. But we are on the last song. I'm so glad to be here because I love this song so much. It is called Strangers. It is probably going to remain my favorite song on the album. I will be shocked if anything overtakes it. It is such a stunning song. I really love it. I have listened to it on repeat many a night. So we can take a little listen. I'm excited to listen to something familiar, where I know she is not going to bring a demonic voice into my ears. That kind of sounds like it's... Oh yeah. Kind of sounds like a sound that was reversed. Like production that was reversed. But it's bringing it back to the first song where we got the preacher's sermon. I actually thought there was going to be more sermon throughout this album. I thought there was going to be like multiple occasions.
In your basement I grow cold. Don't talk to strangers or you might fall in love. You devour like smoke overnight. How funny, I never considered myself.
I love the melodies. I adore this song.
With my memory restricted to a Polaroid and evidence.
No idea what it's about, but it's just about the vibes.
If I'm turning in your stomach and I'm making you feel sick.
And the production is really dynamic, like it changes all throughout, and I just love like every inch of this song. Like every single decision she made in this song is something that I love. It's gonna build and it's gonna do all these things.
And my mother sees me on the side of a milk carton and Winn-Dixie's.
My favorite part is coming up. My favorite part.
For me,
This is my favorite part.
we'll make love in the night. You forget some strange.
best part. I stand corrected. Oh no, the best part is the electric guitar solo. This is the best part of any song I've ever heard. Oh no, this is the best part. This is the best part when she goes into this. I told you every inch of this song is like better than the last.
I want you just to tell you that I made it real far, and that I never blamed you for loving me the way you did. Don't think about it too hard, you'll never sleep a wink at night again. Don't worry about me and these green eyes, mama, just know that I love you.
That might be one of the best album closers I've ever heard. That is how you close an album. Like, look no further. That is the blueprint for how you close an album. It's a perfect song. It's endlessly stunning. It builds in the most beautiful freaking way I've ever heard. The electric guitar at the end. Like, every ounce of that song is just like, I adore every choice that was made. Every melody, every production decision. It's just one of those songs. And I will say, the first time I listened to it, I liked it. I was like, this is pretty, but it wasn't a song that I was obsessed with until I listened to it a few times. And I feel like that is why I can't speak too much to how I felt about this album, because so many of these songs, I'm like, well, I can say whatever I want about how I felt after one listen, but you just never know how you're gonna feel with multiple listens. And I would hate to speak too soon about the album or the sound or the songs when I haven't listened to them more than once. Like, my favorites initially, American Teenager, Family Tree, Hard Times, and Strangers. Like, those are what I would consider my songs right off the get-go. There were some that I straight up didn't connect with, like Western Nights, obviously Ptolemaea, did not like. August Underground and Televangelism, like, I personally didn't need them, but maybe they'll be growers. Like, honestly, I don't want to speak too soon about a lot of these songs. So maybe with my ranking, I'll do a little update on how I'm feeling, but it was very much a roller coaster with like my personal taste. Like, I really liked the beginning of the album. I really loved some of those songs like American Teenager. But again, that was literally the third time I've listened to American Teenager. I don't think I'll ever listen to Ptolemaea again. Straight up, it made me very uncomfortable. Like, that's the one that I'm like, that'll probably just immediately go to the bottom because I don't plan on listening to it again. But as for the other ones, I do want to give it, you know, a few more listens and see where I'm at, because there was so much going on. Like, there was so much freaking happening at any given moment. Obviously, there's the story of the album, there's the lyrics on the surface level, and then there's the deeper meaning. Like, these lyrics were so deep. They were some of the deepest lyrics I think I've ever heard in my life. There was so much intention behind not only the lyrics, but like, there were so many like intentional decisions on this album. It is an art piece. Like, it just is. Whether you like it or not, that's a different thing. But it is an art piece. Like, it is a very artistic, very thought out album. It's not an album that was just like slapped together one day. Her voice is like comforting and haunting and creepy. Not creepy, but like, it has this way about it that it can get creepy at parts. Like, when she goes into the lower register and she sings a creepy lyric, it can feel like it's creepy, even though her voice is pretty. She has a comforting, peaceful voice, but at the same time, she can get a little bit weird. And so that's interesting. It felt like haunting and creepy, but also comforting and homey at the same time. Like, there was this duality in the sound. It was like this really slow, dragging songs that just kind of drag on. And I don't mean that in a negative way. Although for me, sometimes it can feel a little bit draggy, but I understand for other people, like that's their sound. I was just talking to a guy at work the other day and he was like, I love the slow, drawn out songs. And I'm like, that's funny because I'm the opposite. So it's just interesting how different people have different tastes. Yes, we were actually talking about Ethel Cain. I was like, oh, like I haven't listened to the full album. So now I have. Honestly, I didn't really know that I would do this album, but here we are. So much to unpack. Like, I don't know. It is like 1:30 in the morning. So honestly, I'm probably not going to do a deep dive on the lyrics right now. But honestly, like the lyrics just confused me. They confused me so much. For me, I'm going to have to look up what other people say about the lyrics and learn that way. Because if I was just listening to this album with no knowledge about like the story behind it even, I would be even more confused. And even with the knowledge that it is a fictional story about a girl, Ethel Cain, I still didn't get a lot of the lyrics, even though I had that context. So it's deep. The songwriting was very good. It was very good songwriting. I mean, I'm not surprised to say that because back when I tried to listen to it, that was one of the elements of the songs that I did appreciate. So the imagery, so specific, like so detailed. You really felt like you were seeing a very personal narrative take place, if that makes sense. It's so complex. Like everything about this album is hella complex, and anytime that's the case, you know you're gonna have to take a few listens with it. At least, again, if you're me. We will see, but yeah, I'm glad I checked it out. I really am, because it was something different for me. It really was. Like, this is not the style of music that I typically listen to, and I like getting outside my comfort zone and trying new things, and I think that's one of my favorite aspects of having this channel is I listen to things that maybe I wouldn't have listened to otherwise. So I am glad I checked it out. I am intrigued by what you guys will have to say in the comments. Like, literally, please let me know what's happening. Please, someone else let me know that I'm not the only person who hates Ptolemaea. That would be great. Should I read like one thing online that like says what it's about? You know what I mean? Oh, okay, yeah. Like, Christ forgive these bones I'm hiding from no one successfully. Someone wrote in that it might be about gender dysphoria. Obviously don't know, like that is just what one person said. But yeah, like transgender individuals are often discriminated against and hated in church communities. I mean, it all depends. It all depends on the church. It all depends on the community. Like, there are churches that openly welcome members of the LGBTQ community, and there are churches that do not and are very hateful toward those groups of people. It all depends on where you go. This is like one of the issues I have with the church is like they could do a better job, could do a much better job. Some of them. It makes me sad. I just wish we could all get along and like just accept each other for who we are. And I wish all churches did a good job of that and not just some churches. Like this album is deep. And it's not an album I can wrap my mind around in one sitting. Like, it's just not. It would be great if I could tie this up with a bow. I so badly want to. Like, I so badly want to be like, this song means this, and this song means this, and therefore the album means this, and tie it up with a perfect bow. But I can't. I would love to sit down with Ethel and be like, hey, like, what does this mean? Yeah, Ethel, if you want to come on my channel, you are welcome to. I would like nothing more than to have a convo about this album with you. I'm sure you're watching this and I'm sure you will reach out. But yeah, obviously like her father was a main character on this album, preacher's daughter, and she mentioned him a lot. Apparently she had a boyfriend named Logan. Like, I don't know. How do you sum up your thoughts after that album? Like, that album was just, it was a journey. Like, it truly was a roller coaster. Okay, I'm sorry about the light. When I say that the third time I listened to this album, I don't know why, but like the third listen, I just fell in love with this album. I mean, I still don't like Ptolemaea. Okay, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh yeah, I love all the songs now. I don't like that song. I don't like the August Underground and Televangelism. Like, those are the ones I still can't get into, but like, and Bleached Flies. Those are the only ones I don't like. This album is insane, and I'm so glad that I listened to it again and again and again and actually like took the time, because it's one of those albums that with every listen I like it more I'm picking up on like different things. It's just the type of music that like I don't attach to right away, but it takes some time. But then I have attached to this album. The sound of it is freaking gorgeous. The songwriting, I mean, I talked about that, but it's insane. I am just like obsessed, truly. I have to be in a mood, you know? I have to be in like I listened to it in the car when it was rainy one day, and let me tell you, like, that was just the vibe. Oh my gosh, but I am truly, truly blown away by this album now that I get it now. I really do. I mean, I still don't really get the lyrics on all the songs, but I love the sound of it so much. So I just wanted to check. Like, I had to update and be like, this album has rocked my world. Like, I hear people talking about how this is maybe one of the best albums in years. And the more that I listen to it, the more that I'm agreeing with that statement. So I just wanted to check in. Thanks for listening. And I want to highlight, I truly, like, honest to God, never thought I would see myself loving this album as much as I do. I truly was like, you know what? It's one of those albums I can appreciate, but I don't think it's ever going to be my album. And like, I was wrong. I was so wrong. This is my album ranking. What are some of my favorites, some of my least favorites? Always open to change and evolve over time, and feel free to disagree with me. Thank you so much for watching. I know a few of you are going to be very happy I finally listened to this, and I am too. I'm glad I checked this out. Feel free to like and subscribe and all the things. Thank you again for being here, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.